Speaking at the 12th edition of the Education Summit, organized at the Leela Palace in Bengaluru on 6th August 2022, Ms. Hemaa Narayan, Director, Sudarshan Vidya Mandir Institutions, Bengaluru, spoke to the Education Times and shared her thoughts about the summit, the role of technology in education, and how should the teachers be trained for a better tomorrow. Let's hear her thoughts.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have with us Ms. Hemaa Narayan, Director, Sudarshan Vidya Mandir Institutions, Bengaluru. Welcome to the summit, ma'am.
Thank you so
How's
much.
your experience at the 12th Education Summit?
So far, it's been excellent. I think we've been treated very well. You have a large body of educators, and I think you've taken care of all of our needs and requirements. So, well done.
Thank you so much. So, ma'am, how much of a role technology should play in education is my question to you, because we can see that the world has become digital after the pandemic. So, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think we've been preparing for this for quite a while. I don't think it's just the pandemic that set this off. But like many people have said, we started preparing for this maybe a century ago, and it's come to somewhat of a fruition now. There is no doing without digital technology. It's how you adapt to it and how you use it. Like everything else, what matters is how, when, where, and why. It's not should we or ought to be to or not. It is here. Like, I suppose a few decades ago, people spoke about the invasion of television. And now we're talking about the invasion of digitization. So it's not so much an invasion, I think, as much as it is a necessity. It's how we deal with this necessity. And we've seen that it has come in very useful, like you said, during the pandemic.
Absolutely. So whenever we talk about education, we generally talk about the students and not the teacher. So I would like to ask you about what is the standard practice of training for educators that the schools across the nation should follow for a better tomorrow.
Look, there are a couple of aspects to this. One is, of course, that you need the required qualification. And qualification becomes a certificate.
Absolutely.
But does the certificate qualify you to be a good teacher? I think it's a question of instinct and instruction that's important. If you don't already have an inclination toward teaching, then just a certificate is not going to help you. So one, I think there has to be interest in the field. Two, when you have that interest, I think self-improvement happens on its own. There are good institutions, of course, that are set up for the instruction aspect of it. But I think if you don't yourself decide to improve, decide to learn what is required to make learning possible, then you're on a slippery slope.
Absolutely right, ma'am. And a quick take on changing aims and objectives of education.
I don't think there's anything that changes with aims and objectives. You want a good human being, you want a child who's equipped to deal with the present and somewhat prepared for the future. I don't think it's an equation of good student and good human being. I think a good human being is what starts at home, is nurtured at school, and prepared for by education. So I think the aims and objectives have been the same. The presentation has changed somewhat, and I guess we all have to gear up for it.
Absolutely, ma'am. Thank you so much
Thank
for your
you,
valuable
ma'am.
thoughts. Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you. Thank you, sir.